Sometimes people share stories online that sound way too detailed and way too terrifying to brush off as just imagination. And the one I'm about to tell you, this one, sits deep in that category. It's a story from someone who swears they weren't looking for attention, weren't exaggerating, and weren't imagining things. And honestly, once you hear what happened inside that abandoned processing plant, you'll understand why it still keeps them up at night. If you're into strange, creepy late-night stories that make you double-check your locks, you're in the right place. We go through wild tales like this every single week, so show the like button a little love, maybe send it a snack or something, unless it starts whispering your name back. And make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of these chilling stories. I'm not crazy, not dramatic, and not looking for attention. This happened in 2021, and I still don't have any explanation that lets me sleep easy. I live in a small town in the Midwest where there's not much to do, so on weekends, my friends and I would explore abandoned buildings. One night, we picked the old Riverbend Processing Plant, a massive concrete structure that shut down in the early 90s. It has 4 floors, long conveyor tunnels, rusted machinery, the whole horror movie package. We got there around 9 p.m. with flashlights and a backpack speaker. It was supposed to be a stupid adventure. We didn't even make it to the second floor. Inside the plant, everything echoes. Your footsteps sound like someone else's footsteps. But about 10 minutes in, we heard something different, something that didn't match our rhythm, a whisper. At first, I thought it was wind sneaking through the broken windows, but it wasn't a whoosh. It was syllables, breathing, a voice trying to whisper words, but not fully human in how it sounded. It lasted about 3 seconds, enough for all of us to freeze. But we decided to keep going because none of us wanted to be the first to chicken out. We reached the main conveyor hall. Rusted metal sheets hung from the ceiling, clanking whenever a breeze blew through. Then I heard it. Something running above us, not walking, not crawling, running. The problem, there was no floor above that part of the hall, just broken beams and open rafters. Whatever it was fast, too fast, and its steps weren't spaced like a person's. It sounded like it had more than 2 legs, or less. Jake swung his flashlight upward, and that's when we all saw it at the same time.
Okay.
A silhouette moving across the rafters. At first, it looked like a person crouched down, but then it moved in this horrible bending way like its limbs were bending backwards or folding at the joints. It crossed the rafter beam in 2 seconds and disappeared deeper into the ceiling shadows. We didn't speak, we didn't breathe, we ran! When we reached the exit hall, I was leading. My flashlight was shaking so much I could barely see straight. Halfway through, I heard whispering again, but this time it wasn't random breathy sounds. It said my name, my actual name, not screaming, not demonic, just softly, like someone leaning in close behind me and saying it with cold breath. I spun around, and my friends were 20 feet behind me. Both of them had heard their names, too. We bolted out of the building. Once we were outside, I turned back for one final look because I needed to convince myself we were overreacting. In the broken second-floor window, something was standing there, tall, thin, bent at the shoulders like it didn't know how to hold a human shape properly. No eyes. Or maybe eyes too black to see the whites. It tilted its head in this slow, unnatural angle like it was studying us. Then it stepped back into the darkness and vanished. The whole window went dark, like whatever it was took the light with it. We haven't gone back. 2 weird things happened afterwards, still make me uneasy. 1. For a week straight after that night, I heard whispering when trying to fall asleep. Not words, just the same cadence of that voice in the plant. 2. My phone's voice memos app had a recording from that night, the exact moment we were in the conveyor hall, even though I never hit record. When I play it, I can hear us walking, metal clanking, and a whisper saying my name, followed by something running overhead. Every time I try to delete it, it reappears. I've talked to 2 paranormal investigators and 1 priest. None of them agree on what it was, but they all agree it wasn't human and definitely wasn't alone. I don't go near abandoned places anymore. There are things inside them that don't want to be found. And some of them learn your name. Okay, so I never believed in haunted places. I like history, old buildings, creepy photos, but ghosts, meh. I always thought people just freaked themselves out. That was before Pennhurst. If you're not familiar, Pennhurst State School and Hospital sits tucked away in Spring City, Pennsylvania. It opened in 1908 as a place to care for children with disabilities, but decades of investigation revealed it became something far worse. Overcrowding, abuse, neglect, restraints, the tunnels, the punishments. It closed in 1987. But the energy there never did. I decided to visit as part of a historical photography project. Dumb idea, I know that now. The entrance. You don't realize how huge Pennhurst is until you're standing there. Half the windows are shattered vines crawling into the rooms like the building's being swallowed, and the silence is weird, like a vacuum. No birds, no insects, just dead quiet. I went with two friends, Tyler and Mia, around 4 p.m. The sun was still up, so it felt manageable. We brought flashlights, old builder maps, and GoPro. The tunnels. Everyone online says the tunnels are the worst part, so of course we went there first. The moment we started descending the stairs, the temperature dropped at least 10 degrees. You could see your breath, which made no sense because outside it was almost 80. The tunnels are long, low, and echo like crazy. Pipes everywhere, rusted wheelchairs, broken gurneys, old metal restraints on the walls. About 10 minutes in, we heard it. The sound of someone walking behind us. Not shuffling, not rats. Footsteps. Slow. Steady. We turned around. No one. But the footsteps didn't stop. They just moved to the side of us, parallel, matching our pace. The nursery wing. We climbed back upstairs into the old nursery wing. I swear this was worse than the tunnels. All the cribs were still there. Metal frames, some with the little toy hooks dangling. The moment we stepped inside, every crib made the same metallic ping like someone lightly tapped them. Every single one. Then Mia grabbed my arm so hard she left marks. She pointed at one crib in the corner. It was rocking. Not shaking violently, just gently rocking, like someone was soothing a baby. Tyler whispered, "Dude, we need to go." But before we could move, we heard a voice. A woman's voice, right behind us. It said, "Stop." Not angry, more like a command. Cold. Stern. We froze. Then it said, "You don't belong here." The footsteps again. We backed down the hall, and as we did, the footsteps returned louder this time, like someone following right behind us, getting faster. The lights from our flashlights flickered. My GoPro started glitching and shutting off. At one point, Tyler screamed something and tugged the back of his shirt so hard he stumbled. We ran. The last thing. As we reached the wide front hallway, something happened that I still can't explain without sounding insane. All the doors lining the corridor, at least 8 or 9 of them, slammed shut in rapid succession, one after the other. Bang, 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 like something was chasing us out of the building, closing each door as it came closer. When we burst out onto the front steps, the air outside felt normal again, warm, bright, like nothing had happened. But the second we hit the parking lot, we all turned back at the same time without speaking because we could feel something watching us from the doorway. There was no one there. But the shadow behind the broken glass looked darker than it should have been, and it moved. Aftermath. When we got home, the GoPro had corrupted everything inside the nursery wing. The files won't open, the audio's warped. And we all developed the same recurring nightmare for weeks, walking through a long hallway, following footsteps we can't see, doors slamming behind us, cribs rocking, and a woman whispering, "You don't belong here." We never went back. And I don't think Penhurst wants us to. Takes a slow breath.